How to get the perfect recall. You need one tool here, maybe two. You need a long line. The long line is the only way you should ever be training your dog on off leash, and I'm going to tell you why from someone who's trained over 2,000, and I do this for breakfast, lunch and dinner every single day. It's called classical conditioning. The stimulus is attached towards the response. When you're using the long line, number one, the dog should never be 30 to 50 meters away from you unless you're hunting with your dog. Number two is that when you have control over that leash and you mark the behavior for the perfect recall, the second tool is the motivator. Firstly, you're going to use a treat, a ball or a tug, but very quickly after, what you want to start to do sporadically is you want to get your dog to come in and you want to attach the dopamine of the mark towards your loving energy of your dopamine. Otherwise, you're only ever going to be bribing your animal in order to come into the recall. They have to start to learn that sometimes I'm just going to call you in and you've got to come 100% out of 100%, maybe for safety reasons, or maybe just because I'm fucking in control. This is the anticipating a correction. Recall is 80 positive, 20% negative. And second reason for this is that this is why people always say to us, Charlie, why'd you never use the e-collar? If I'm telling you a little secret, I trained over 500 dogs before I even really fucking did any research into the e-collar. I personally had personal experience of never needing a fucking e-collar. Why is that after the years of experience? Because it's called classical conditioning. My stimulus is not a shock. My stimulus is my energy. I will negatively reprimand you, and I do not need a mechanism in order to have the safety of the animal, because that means that you're putting your dog in an environment where your mark doesn't actually work. And if you're using it as that sense, you're then actually correcting the dog. So you're not even using the e-collar as a mark, you're actually using it as a correction. If you buzz it on the first protocol, that's then your mark. And why would you fucking do that when you're not going to mark that dog with an e-collar 100% of the time in the house, on the leash? To me, it's just fucking ludicrous, and it's just the fucking new world gone mad. I understand they have their use cases for professional fucking dog trainers and for people that actually hunt with their dogs, but from a domesticated point of view, you don't need an e-collar. You're cutting the corners, your mark don't work. Classical conditioning, the stimulus is always supposed to be consistent throughout the whole life, and the long line mimics that perfectly, because when the dog don't fucking listen, you're going to drag him in as the negative, take away the fun, take away the freedom, take away the food. That mimics discipline in the house, and that's why your stimulus is consistent. That's why we can train 2,000 dogs. That's why we rehabilitate euthanasia dogs. That's why I walk 30 dogs every single day. It's very fucking simple. And guess what? The native mother never uses a fucking e-collar, and how do them dogs stay around her?